Hello and welcome to our Midday Report here on TVP World. My name is Diana Skaya. And we begin with updates from the front lines in Ukraine. Russia launched another wave of deadly strikes hitting homes and critical energy infrastructure as freezing temperatures grip the country, leaving thousands of Ukrainians without power. At least 4 people were killed and several others wounded in attacks on Odesa and Kharkiv. Veronika Godzinska reports.
Another day, the same sad reality for the Ukrainian people. Russia launched yet another attack on Ukraine overnight on Sunday, targeting the port city of Odesa. At least 3 people were killed and 2 others wounded.
We were already at the scene and carried out resuscitation measures, but unfortunately the man could not be saved. Although the emergency services made every possible effort, he died.
A total of 21 apartment buildings were damaged in the strike, with a fire breaking out inside one of them. More than 50 rescuers were involved in the operation.
One of the impact sites was practically in the courtyard of a 24-story residential building. A fire broke out there and 2 passenger cars were burning. A gas pipeline nearby was damaged, as well as the building where a fitness center is located, including the equipped roof and the equipment installed on the roof.
And this is Kharkiv. Here, Russian drones killed at least 4, including a mother and her 10-year-old son. Elsewhere, in Saktarske in the Dnipro region, 9 people were injured after a Russian strike triggered fires and damaged multiple residential buildings. Russian forces also targeted the capital Kyiv, where authorities urged residents to remain in shelters. According to estimates by the Ukrainian Air Force, the latest Russian attack consisted of 11 ballistic missiles and 149 drones. Out of these, 116 were shot down and 33 were intercepted or did not reach their targets. The latest overnight Russian attack comes amid Moscow's ongoing drone and missile campaign against Ukraine's energy infrastructure, which has severely damaged the country's energy grid, causing blackouts amid freezing temperatures.
Well, I think this is Russia trying to show its strength in front of the United States. Russia, of course, is aware of one thing, which is that it has enormous advantages in winter when it can do its best to prevent Ukraine heating itself.
But the good news is, Ukraine is not alone, as another batch of power generators are expected to reach the war-torn country on Monday as part of the Warmth from Poland for Kyiv initiative.
With Hungary heading into general elections in just 2 months, the ruling party has doubled down on its anti-Ukraine rhetoric. Now, while the stance reflects a minority view among Hungarians, Prime Minister Viktor Orban appears to be deliberately turning the war-torn country into a campaign scapegoat.
He isn't exactly known for his friendliness towards Ukraine, but Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban's latest remarks on Kyiv went beyond even his own regular criticism.
I say it is our enemy.
With the campaign for parliamentary elections on April 12th in full swing, political rhetoric has heated considerably. Trailing in the polls to Peter Magyar's TISA party, Orban is doubling down on his anti-Ukraine and pro-Russian stance. Late last month, Orban's administration accused Ukraine of meddling in Hungarian elections and even summoned the Ukrainian ambassador to account for the results. One former deputy foreign minister told TVP World such actions are an attempt to rally the voter base.
Unfortunately, he is successful in his camp, not in the whole society, because according to the last polls, 56% of the Hungarians still supports Ukraine membership of the EU and have a much different view and sentiments about Ukraine.
But despite being in the minority, polls show anti-Ukrainian and pro-Russian sentiment is still sizable in Hungary. Observers note that reporting on the Russian invasion of Ukraine in Hungary is limited. The country's media is under the Prime Minister's allies' strong control, which is one of the opposition's main talking points.
After the change of government, we will immediately suspend public media news broadcasts until the conditions for an objective and impartial operation are in place.
Hungary is under a propaganda rule. The government owns the 80% of the media in Hungary, which means it is almost impossible for people to find the true information.
Despite Hungary's lopsided media landscape, recent polling suggests Tisza is ahead of Orbán's Fidesz party by around 8 percentage points.
Polish military systems have detected balloons in violation of the country's airspace overnight. Now, despite the incursions, Sunday's air traffic operations remain normal. Balloon incursions from Belarus have become an increasingly common occurrence, with recent days seeing similar incursions having taken place. Now, Polish authorities already arrested 29 people at the tail end of last year that were suspected of organizing smuggling operations using weather balloons. While easily detected, weather balloons are quite tricky to shoot down because of their high altitude. Neighboring Lithuania has also had to contend with balloon incursions, with the country's main airport in Vilnius regularly forced to shut down. Lithuanian authorities suspect the Belarusian regime to be complicit in the incursions, which are means of sowing unrest throughout the region. One of Poland's largest parcel locker operators, InPost, is set to change hands in one of the country's biggest corporate deals in recent years. The company's founder says the move is designed to further fuel its expansion across Europe. Konrad Galiński has more.
InPost, an innovator in the so-called last-mile B2C logistics business that skyrocketed on the Warsaw Stock Exchange to become one of the country's great unicorns, will be changing hands. Founder and CEO Rafał Brzoska posted on X on Monday that InPost Group will be sold to a consortium of international investors in a deal expected to be finalized in the second half of 2026. The value of the deal? €7.8 billion. Buyers are said to include large multinationals, FedEx Corporation, Advent Investment, A&R Investments, and PPF Group, though Brzoska assures that InPost will retain operational independence. Its headquarters, management team, and key operations will remain in Poland while he continues to lead the group.
We shouldn't look at this from the perspective of change, from the perspective of the ownership change and the capital moving from one country to another. It's a normal stage of development for each company.
Currently, the company's stock is trading in Frankfurt at around €13.35. The consortium of buyers has agreed to purchase all the shares at €15.60 per share. InPost's board chairman said he's confident that the offer represents an attractive opportunity for shareholders to realize value at significant premium. Shareholders mostly agree.
We need to take into consideration that the bid and the proposal from the buyers is still strongly above the market price. So this is the positive information for the current shareholders. And the upbid is above 20% to the current price.
Brzoska has given assurances that the consortium will back initiatives to deepen partnerships across the entire value chain and has committed itself to supporting InPost's continued expansion across Europe, including in France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, the Benelux countries, and the United Kingdom, the continent's largest e-commerce market.
From liquefied natural gas to nuclear to offshore wind power, Poland is strengthening its energy security and independence. Now, as new infrastructure and transport links are developed, countries around the region could also benefit from these investments. Maciej Wilowski has more.
Poland has the potential to become a regional energy hub. From the existing LNG terminal in the port town of Świnoujście to new floating terminal being developed off the coast of Gdańsk, along with new investments in offshore wind and nuclear power, the infrastructure to make this feasible is slowly but surely coming into place. Polish Energy Minister Miłosz Motyka made the case for this at today's EEC Trends Conference held here in Warsaw.
Today, Poland is developing this hub, is constructing this hub. Our infrastructure is ready. And thanks to our political strength and our entrepreneurial strength, we are in a good position to take the voice. So we are not an average country, we become the leader of Europe.
Now, it should be noted that while the infrastructure is in place or will soon be in place in the coming years, the customers are lacking. Currently, about 99% of Poland's LNG exports, roughly 2 billion cubic meters in total, are exported to Ukraine, with the remaining 1% headed to Lithuania. To become a true regional hub, Poland will need to expand its energy partnerships with its NATO and European Union allies, including with immediate neighbors like Slovakia and the Czech Republic. Reporting from TVP World from the EEC Trends Conference in Warsaw, this is Maciej Wilowski.
Now, this next story is sure to melt hearts. It was pure joy and happiness, and the mother of a boy with a skeletal condition after his dream of meeting his football heroes came true. Now, invited by Barcelona goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny, the young football fan who was 11 years old attended a match and went on to meet the entire team.
11-year-old Wojciech Felix suffers from spondyloepimetaphyseal dysplasia, a condition that affects bone development and mobility. After a successful operation that allowed him to walk straighter than before, his family posted a video expressing his wish to meet two of his football heroes, striker Robert Lewandowski and Szczęsny. The Barcelona goalkeeper saw the post and contacted the boy's family. Szczęsny covered the travel and accommodation expenses so that the boy could attend Barcelona's match against Mallorca, in which Lewandowski scored one of Barcelona's 3 goals. Little Wojciech also attended a full training session, which included a short dancing session with superstar Lamine Yamal.
That's quite a story. And now let's turn our focus to the Winter Olympics. Now, our sports reporter John Carter is here in studio with us to tell us about the highs and lows from the opening weekend in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo. John, take it away.
Thank you very much, Diana. So, I think first of all, place to start is with the Olympic medal table. So, at the moment, as we can see, Norway are currently leading the table, with the United States in second, with host nation Italy in third place. Now, it's been a slow start for the Poles at the moment, who just have only really had a few competitors and they're still finding their feet. Alexander Król-Walas was unfortunately eliminated in the quarter-finals in the parallel giant slalom snowboarding. But she wasn't the only hot favourite who was eliminated early, because Czech snowboarder Ester Ledecká was also eliminated at the quarter-final stage. Now, Ledecká was a hot favourite coming into this, bearing in mind that she won the last 2 Olympic gold medals. So it was a big surprise when she went out at the final 8. But let's have a listen to what she had to say when she, just after she exited.
And I did try my best and I didn't mistake, that's all. Been at a great run and I was slower this time. I'm sad, especially for my team.
So, with 2 hot favourites eliminated, this rather left the path open for the young Czech snowboarder Zuzana Mederová, and the 22-year-old steamed through to claim the gold. So here's Mederová, we can see, with her gold medal. But she wasn't the only medalist for the Czechs, because also Metoda Jilic picked up a silver medal in the men's 5,000-metre speed skating. But we can't go any further without speaking about the main event of the game so far, and that is Lindsey Vonn. Now, the 41-year-old legendary alpine skier was making a big comeback after an incredible accident just a week before the Games, where she tore her ACL. Now, just to put that in context, a torn ACL in a high-impact sport, you're looking at about 9 months out of action, and she was trying to come back just a month early. So, It all ended in tears, though, for her, because unfortunately she had to be airlifted by a helicopter off the piste when she crashed just 13 seconds into one of her first runs. Now, as we understand, reports suggest that she ended up breaking her leg and had to undergo surgery. But moving on now and looking more forwards. So one of the events today is ski jumping begins. And this involves this man right here, and that is Kamil Stoch, legendary ski jumper. And he'll be competing in his 6th Olympics, which he will break the record for the most number of appearances at Olympic Games by any skier. And that is all I have time for today's Olympic Roundup. Back to Deanna.
Thank you so much, John Carter, giving us a little recap of the Winter Olympics to complete our midday report here on TVP World. I'm Diana Skaya. See you next time.